Hi, friends. Happy Labor Day to you. I hope that some of you are at least getting a little bit of the day off. I am caught between campuses, so the Portland campus for George Fox is closed and the Newburgh campus is open and operational as usual. So I'm at my home office in between, kind of working, kind of not, really trying to carve space for the kind of the work that I most enjoy, which is sitting down with something like Surprised by Joy. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope that you are drawing close to the end of it and keeping up with the reading. Please let me know if you're struggling in that in any way. This book is just a delight, and I've noticed that some of you are picking up on that in our first discussion forum, which is just recognizing how utterly human C.S. Lewis was. He went through deep pain, he went through deep struggles, not just a period of doubt, but a period of very pronounced atheism. And I think once we realize that, we can see the depth of what he produced. He didn't just wallow in his pain or sit in his rejection of God and declare that for the rest of his life, or even just silently sit with it and refuse to encounter it. He stepped fully into it to figure out, what is this? What is this longing I have for something else? And what is this just fierce distaste of everything that's being presented to me? This cannot be what the answer is. And he dug in and dug in and dug in until he discovered the answers. And what came out of it has been so profoundly impactful on the culture in all of Western civilization. So not only the Narnia Chronicles, which I know a lot of you are familiar with, and I have a lot of students who take this class or just take other classes of mine through their time here who don't realize, and maybe some of you are in this camp, don't realize the Christian themes throughout those chronicles. And that was Lewis's intention. So understand that he knew that if he were to say, and Aslan, see this lion over here, this is Jesus, there would be a lot of people who would be instantly repelled and not want to hear the story. So I hope that you, certainly by the close of our course, are able to see how incredibly purposeful he was in his creation and in his desire for everyone around him to discover the peace, the joy, the love that he had discovered for himself. And if the best way to get them to enter in was through creative works, then so be it. But he also was profoundly impactful as what is called a Christian apologist. It's an odd word, I know. No, he's not apologizing for the Christian faith. It's simply a word that means someone who is pronouncing it and explaining what it is and why it is, I hate to use the word reasonable, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there, reasonable within our secular understanding of how can this be. His book, Mere Christianity, is one of the most read and most impactful in terms of bringing people to the Christian faith that has ever been written next to the Bible. If you've not read Mere Christianity, I encourage you to. It used to be, for those of you who've taken the Christian Faith and Thought course that's required in our majors, that was the key text, Mere Christianity. As of this year, we actually have just changed it to Surprised by Joy. So those of you who have not yet had the Christian Faith and Thought course, you will be one up on the rest of your peers in your class because you will have already read this book once before. We did think about whether we would drop it from this class, but I made a pretty strong argument. I don't think so, because in this class, we're approaching it as we look at C.S. Lewis, the man, and what his story was and what his impact has been on culture. When you look at Surprised by Joy in the Christian Faith and Thought course, you will be considering worldview, you'll be considering your own faith, and it's really a more personal lens than what we're taking here, although I'm asking you to do that here as well. So all of that to say, I want you to consider an added piece as you look towards both the discussion forum and your response paper 2 this week. Where are you in terms of faith? There is no right answer to this question. I have had students who've walked into my courses and said, I'm an atheist, I don't know why I need to take this or ever talk about God, which is by no means shocking to me. I completely understand where they're coming from. I have had probably the highest population I've had have been students who've been deeply hurt by the church, which is just such a sad thing, but it's so true. And then I've had students of probably every denomination, including Judaism, that you can imagine. So there's no right answer, but I want you to answer it for yourself in your own heart. Where are you with faith? Is this something that's active in your life, something you don't even think about, don't think you'll ever think about? Where are you, and how are you hearing Lewis? Because he becomes a man of deep faith. So that can either make you think, I don't know, doesn't relate to me, or yes, I want more, I want to read more, I'm fascinated by this man, or it can be off-putting to some people. So I think it's helpful for you yourself to name where you are on that spectrum. If you're willing, I think it would be great if you can share it with the rest of us, particularly in the discussion forum. So heads up. And if any of you got on the discussion forum early this morning, which I don't think any of you did, discussion forum 2, I had initially loaded it as written, but then I forgot I promised you that it would be a video discussion forum, so I changed it earlier today. So take note, discussion forum 2, I'm asking for a video similar to this. All you need to do is open a new discussion forum. Don't do this on an iPad. It doesn't always work on an iPad, but it should work just fine on your computer. And look over to the right. This is a new feature for some of you who've been with us for a while. There is a camera icon, and all you do is click on that. It is maxed out at 5 minutes, so it will cut you off. Just be forewarned, and you can watch a little timer down at the bottom. But you click the camera icon, and I just want you to talk. I want us to see one another, to get to know one another. I'm not as critical about whether or not you answer the questions that I'm putting on the prompt. So what I've done for this time is I've asked you to watch a video, a TED Talk, and I've asked you to consider his theories. He is a Nobel Prize winning economist, and I think you'll see how it can tie in with Lewis. And then I want you to pick one of the prompts there that either makes the most sense to you or interests you the most, and then take it in whatever direction you want. You only have 5 minutes. Please don't film these over and over. Film it one time only. Be yourself. If a kid walks in, a cat walks by, a dog starts barking, completely fine. That's the humanity of who we all are. So be forewarned, first discussion forum due Wednesday at midnight. Take note, please, discussion forums. All I'm looking for is that you hit the deadlines, number 1, and then number 2, hit the word counts. If there is a given word count, there's not for the video, but there are for the responses to the videos. And also make sure when you are writing that you're editing your work. If you do those 3 things and you're answering the prompt in some conceivable way, you should be earning 100% on the discussion forum. So if you're not, I want you to be aware and then ponder why. Some of your initial responses in discussion forum 1 were substantially low on word count, and those will not earn full credit. So take note of that. Most students find that the discussion forums, once they get the pattern down, they can earn 100% on those, and that can help then with response paper grades if those potentially aren't as high as they would like. I look forward to your response paper 1s. I will be looking at those as soon as I'm able to this week. Blessings on your day.